Alright, this is my last Max Payne video. Well, yeah, pretty much, unless they have DLC or something. So we're just gonna do what? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do Painkiller. That was my favorite game type so far. It's pretty cool. Basically, each person either becomes Max Payne or Passos, and you have to basically get the most kills as those people. But the only problem is, if I join a match that's already started, I'm gonna be at a disadvantage. But yep, this is my last multiplayer video for Max Payne. I have a gist of the multiplayer. I don't really need to keep doing it. I mean, you got your basic modes: Team Deathmatch, Demolition, Domination, within the gang wars. It's pretty basic, pretty much what I expected. I don't know if I think I'm like level 5. I think I've upgraded. Yeah, level 5. I upgraded to level 5. So I have, you've got, AKs, you got various weapons you can use. Now, obviously, the slow motion stuff gives you more stuff. I'll talk about this at the end of the video to give it a fair verdict. So, do not worry. I don't know. I'm not in the mood to keep playing more multiplayer. I mean, I think I've played enough. Playing 100 freaking team deathmatches is just like, it's overkill. I mean, maybe for like a game like Tom Clancy, but Oh, this is the match I played with Top Dog on. This is like first one. But the only problem is I started and there's only 5 minutes of the fucking game left. Okay, well, that was interesting. Oh, I thought I killed him. Yes! I knew it. I knew it was Max Payne.
They become sluggish, slow on the draw.
Well, how was I supposed to do that? G4? Why do I keep seeing G4 every time I go into this freaking lobby? There's always someone from G4. It doesn't make any sense. And I just unloaded an entire clip into effing Passos, and he didn't die. Well, I don't think I'm going to be winning this. I joined like ahead of time. I mean, you're at a complete disadvantage. I thought I just killed Max fucking Payne. I didn't get the points for that. Painbringer? What the hell's this? Kill 100 other players. Okay, well, I guess it's fitting that I get that in my last video for Max Payne's multiplayer. Great, he's fucking Max Payne now.
They were getting careless, revealing their position.
Nice! You are the new Max Payne.
You had it coming, asshole! Now time to turn against them as well. Time was definitely not on side.
Come on, get up. Why does he keep falling down? I don't understand why he kept falling down. Oh, look, that guy's from Rockstar. Who is that dude? Is he from Rockstar? I don't know. Whatever. I don't think there's I checked the achievements. There's no achievement for killing a Rockstar in this game, not like Grand Theft Auto 4, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, but whatever. Fucking guy. Oh my god, suicide, of course, suicide! Oh my god. Just never fails to disappoint. Yeah, why? Doesn't really matter, I'm not gonna fucking win. No, I try. You lose. You joined too late. Seriously, if you join late in this game, why the hell would you bother? Why would you bother if you join late? Like, it doesn't make sense. Alright. Alright, we're done. We are done. Going back to the main menu and I'm reviewing the game. Okay, so this is the conclusion of Max Payne 3, the conclusion of the multiplayer, and also the conclusion of the game. I think it was a pretty decent game. I don't think it was a bad game. I mean, some people have criticized the game as being too much of a copy between Red Dead Redemption, GTA 4, some of these other games that have used this shooting mechanic. I mean, even LA Noire, even though LA Noire didn't have multiplayer, it still used the same shooting mechanic. Of course, you do have the slow motion, which changes that a little bit, but, for the most part, it's the simple, run from cover to cover, hiding behind it, shooting people. I mean, that's why GTA 4 was so revolutionary, because it added that new cover system, and it opened up that new multiplayer. So, I don't know, I mean, how many games have they had with this thing? I mean, GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, Max Payne 3 is the fourth game to use that kind of shooting mechanic, so I don't know, I think it's become old, honestly. I'm really looking for something new with Grand Theft Auto 5, since that's obviously the next Rockstar game from Rockstar, so yeah, that's it for the game. As I said in my verdict, basically, for the campaign in the last campaign video, the campaign was okay. I mean, the story, I couldn't really follow the story, to be quite honest, because it was basically strung along by Max Payne narrating the story and him basically feeling sorry for himself. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, he felt sorry for himself. He was uncertain. He was a weird character because he would run into these areas just like Nathan Drake, and I used the same analogy when I reviewed Uncharted. Max Payne, I guess he kind of does have the persona that he goes into a room and he murders 100 guys and doesn't get killed once. But I don't know, I just kind of think those types of games are ridiculous. Maybe it's because he has this drug which makes him go into slow motion. Whatever the case may be, I think the game, it kind of got cliche, and I couldn't follow the story because of that. I mean, you get the gist of the story for the most part, alright? The guy's corrupt, he's selling, fucking organs of some dude, and it's a whole corrupt business, and the dude dies. It's basically just a side story in Max Payne's world, alright? It doesn't have anything to do with Max Payne's personal struggle. It's just another side story in his life, and basically him having to survive more crazy stuff. This time he's protecting a rich family, and shit goes crazy, obviously, so that's the gist of the story. It was okay. The narrative made it a little bit more interesting, but again, the gunplay is too repetitive from the previous games, and the game wasn't necessarily that long. I was actually pretty surprised. This game was actually half the length of L.A. Noire from last year, so I'm kind of surprised by that. But I mean, I guess L.A. Noire last year did kind of get repetitive with the same, clue searching mechanic again, but at least it was changed up a little bit, because there were some stages where you'd fall from a surface and you'd go into slow-mo and you'd be driving a boat and you'd have to shoot guys. I mean, sometimes they change it up, but, because Rockstar does add some innovation to some of their games. But other than that, pretty basic campaign. Multiplayer, you got modes that are pretty much leftovers from GTA and Red Dead Redemption. You got Deathmatch, you got the Gang War, which is kind of similar to the Cops and Robbers from GTA 4, where you have to defuse a bomb, or maybe you got to dominate an area or kill a number of players. They obviously throw it into the Max Payne era by, killing mobs or killing the gangs of Brazil, basically trying to make it more story-oriented. So I guess that's pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting aspect of the game, that you get to do these different modes for the gang wars. Then you got the Painkiller mode, which was actually one of my favorite modes, where basically you have to kill Max Payne or Passos, and if you do that, you actually become Max Payne. It's kind of similar to Halo 3. If you've ever played Halo 3, the Juggernaut mode, where if you kill the Juggernaut, then you become the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut has extra health and extra items, and basically everyone has to take the Juggernaut down, and whoever gets the most points as the Juggernaut, or whoever kills the Juggernaut the most, wins, basically. So that was my favorite mode from the multiplayer, and I think that was one of the most innovative modes. But other than that, pretty basic game. And I don't think there was anything that was like shocking. The story was pretty good, as I said. The narrative made it more interesting, but I can't say I was really shocked by this game. Last year, L.A. Noire, by the end, it was such a long experience. I think I was just shocked by how long and how just, drawn out and immersive the experience was. I kind of was rash with my decision with L.A. Noire last year. I was like, oh, this game gets a high score, and I didn't really think it through, that the game was repetitive. Thinking it through with Max Payne, I think this game should probably get an 8.75. I don't think it hits the 9 area for me. Usually a game that's a 9 is a really, really good game. I've given, games like Arkham City and Human Revolution games, games like that I've given 9s, but I don't think this game necessarily hits that mark. It's just not good enough. Not good enough in my book. Multiplayer does add some, some packaging to this. You can join clan modes, you can do a whole bunch of other stuff, customize your weapons, have this stuff cross over to GTA 5, I've been hearing. So, you have a lot of different options. And then in the campaign, you have the New York Minute mode, you have hardcore modes, you have a couple of different modes, and you can look for clues, you can get the golden guns. There are different things you can do to add more experience to your gameplay, but when it comes down to it, the game has a pretty the multiplayer repetitive, the campaign repetitive from previous things. I'm comparing this to previous Rockstar games because we all know that Rockstar has made all these games before, and they're taking aspects from their previous games and throwing them in games like Max Payne. I mean, you had the clue sleuthing from L.A. Noire was in this game. The combat from the previous games was in this game. I just felt that because the game was taking so many aspects from different games, it didn't make the game unique enough, alright? I know it did have the slow motion and the story was pretty interesting, but again, it wasn't unique enough for me. It was too repetitive from other things. And I think games nowadays need to be original. We need to have more original games, alright? I'm tired of seeing all of these generic FPSs and third-person shooters just, copying from other mechanics, and it just becomes watered down. Like, we know what to expect from some of these games. It's expectable, and paying $60 in this day and age for some of these games is it's becoming too much, and I think I have to be honest in saying that with a game like Max Payne. It did, again, had a great story, didn't really execute it that well. Multiplayer was okay, had some cool game modes, like the gang mode. I know, the game and the gang are fucking me up, but the game mode was interesting. The other death matches were pretty much basic. That's my verdict for Max Payne 3. 8.75. I don't know if I'm going to keep this game. I'm thinking about trading it in when I buy Ghost Recon. But if there's, please tell me if there's any other modes. I don't want to sell the game and be like, oh, there were more modes, or maybe there was DLC coming out. I don't want to do that. Because this, again, Rockstar always makes great games. I'm always going to expect that from them. But this game just didn't hit that high in my ratings. So, alright. That's it. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to have a gaming update to explain things that are going on that I need to get out of the way. Really, the only thing I'm going to talk about is the new Ghost Recon game I'm going to be playing. And basically all the schedule changes that have been happening last minute, like I mentioned in part 2 of my multiplayer for Max Payne. Okay? Peace out. Take your time watching the footage. Again, some people have said, oh, why aren't you getting, views and stuff? We want to help you out. Well, you don't have to watch every video all at once. Take your time watching constraints. You don't have to kill yourself watching some of these videos. That's my advice to you if you are interested in watching my footage. So I'm the TheAireaidLord. I hope you enjoyed my Max Payne footage. Stay tuned. More footage coming in the future, and that will be it. So thank you for another awesome playthrough. Another AAA title done, Max Payne. I'd say my top games for 2012 so far would be Mass Effect 3, Max Payne 3, and then Prototype 2. Those are my top games for 2012 so far. I'm sure there are going to be other games later in the year that are going to blow this game out of the water, but for now, those are the games that I like. So, peace out until then.